Hey guys, this is Chris with TGN.TV, and today we're going to take a look at War Inc. Battlezone, and this is a newer free-to-play shooter. Now it's a third-person shooter. I didn't realize that until I got into the game, but it is a third-person shooter, which is actually kind of interesting just because there aren't a lot of third-person games on the PC side. It's usually first-person, but nonetheless, it's a free-to-play game, which means that it does have a typical setup of most free-to-play genre shooters like this. So let's take a look at a couple things with the menu. Obviously, we got your home screen, which shows your character, your rank, your points and whatnot, and your achievements. I'm not sure how active a lot of this stuff is. So obviously, you can see that I've been not doing so hot in terms of my stats, but I haven't really played too many games. Just because there's only 3 servers and the beta is still kind of fresh. It is, obviously still in closed beta, so it really hasn't gotten a whole bunch of people in yet, so I guess things will change once that happens. But as you can see, the game has a few interesting things that separate it from other free-to-play shooters, and that obviously you have this skill tree thing here that you can level up in and get better skilled and whatnot. So like, for example, I've got a point in assault, which is plus 5% assault rifle damage, and so it's so on and so forth with different things like that. You got different abilities that you can unlock to help you out. As you can see, I have double up, which gives me double the amount of ammunition I've got. You got your achievements, and of course you got your stats again. If we go to the Armory, this is pretty much where we can deck out our character. You can have different loadouts here. I can modify this and switch between whatever equipment I have, which I don't have anything. This is what I've got currently equipped, which pretty much came with my character. And you can save that. So it tells you the stats of everything here. So good clean interface, high quality models and things like that, and imagery. So then we can go back. Let's get out of here. And of course you can look at the store. And obviously this is where free-to-play shooters make their coin. Basically, there's 2 ways to go about it. You get GP points, basically. And what that does for you is it gives you a form of currency. You can either get it by playing and leveling up, or you can actually purchase it with real money to get GP, which lets you buy items and whatnot. So as you can see here too, you can get a GP boost for 7 days. If we look at items, let's look at, you can get different outfits and gear and equipment and whatnot, heads, gear, vests and whatnot, headgear, assault rifles, vast selection, sniper, submachine guns, shotguns. Now, as most free-to-plays work, typically with the guns, you're pretty much renting them. So 500 is going to give you a day, 980 for 7 days, and 30 days, 1800 GP. Now, of course, it's not as hard to get the GP as it is to get in certain other games. So, this might sound like, what, 1 day, but it's not that hard to get 500 GP. But you got to think about what, if you get this better weapon, how it's going to help you get more GP as you're playing. So, and then some weapons, I suppose you can unlock. Some may be permanent, like the ones you start out with your stuff that's permanent. Some stuff you can buy permanently, but it's going to cost you more outright and whatnot. But again, they got to make their money somewhere, and this is pretty much how every other free-to-play shooter works. So that is kind of a brief rundown of the item shop. It's definitely full-featured and jam-packed. Community section's not there yet. We got a whole bunch of options. I'm playing 100% maxed out, as you can see. It's got anti-aliasing, post-processing, everything. So you name it, it's there. Let's take a look at the game a little bit itself. You can do a quick match or just play a game and it'll throw you in. I'm going to do browse game, see if there's anybody playing. Right now it only looks like there's 1 person in this game. Let me do one more refresh. So Eastern Fall, it's a deathmatch game. Let's jump in here and see what happens. Now, like I said, it is closed beta. Head over to the War Inc. website, which will be in the link below. Check out that link and try to get in there. And as you can see, we're here. I'm going to go ahead and enter battle. And I got one opponent. Well, let's see if we can find this guy. Again, oh, I don't know what just happened there. I like respawned. The game probably just officially started. Anyway, the game is still closed beta. I know BigDownload.com is actually giving away quite a few keys. I think if you go check out their news site and scroll down and look for War Inc. But yeah, now that I'm in the game, you can see that graphically for a free-to-play game, this is probably one of the best looking free-to-play shooters that I've ever seen. At least. We're pretty close to the best. Also, you'll notice that the level is huge. I know there's one other level too, which is even larger than this. It's a conquest mode map. And in fact, the game at launch is supposed to support 64 players. And for a free-to-play game, that's unheard of. So you can imagine that in theory, if you're playing a game with 64 players, you're bound to rack up a decent amount of kills per day. So getting your points to oh, it's a draw, guys. I mean, it's just, you know, that good. It's a draw. Time must have just ran out. But all right, let's try to get into a different game. But like I was saying, you can imagine that you could accumulate quite a few points by playing through. Oh, let's join this one. See if there's. It kind of kicked everybody out, which kind of sucks. I wish it wouldn't do that. So I'm gonna join this different map. This is the larger map, which is actually quite amazing. But as I was saying, now if you take a look at this map, I mean, I'm the arrow at the top. It's a huge map, and I've never seen a free-to-play game have a map this large and filled with detail. But yeah, I think you can accumulate quite a few points without really having to spend too much money. But of course, spending money on these games will benefit you some in the future. But as you can see, like, quite a lot of detail. I mean, we got fully rendered grass and vegetation here and whatnot. Foliage, whatever you want to say. Smoke, fires going on, lots of ambient sound effects. All the textures are really high res, and again, that poly count on the player models is really nice and high. We'll fire off a couple of shots for everybody. Some weird lighting effects in that corner there, but there's also a semi-automatic mode of fire, so if I hit the X key, by default anyway, I get semi-auto. There's nobody here. Again, it's waiting for people to join, but I guess I'll just show you some of the game while we're running around. Again, TGN is one of the first to have any footage of this game, so I thought you guys could at least get an idea of what the game looks like in action instead of just looking at the screenshots. So that's, you know, something better than nothing, huh? But again, look at, I mean, the game is, the level is huge for a free-to-play, and I keep saying that. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's just it's amazing how the free-to-play thing is just taking off these days. I mean, before you know it, I mean, there's going to be AAA free-to-play titles, and this might actually be one of them. It really just depends. I'll be curious to see how popular this game gets. I've only played a few matches to be able to really get a taste of the combat. I think the largest game I played so far was 3-on-3, and it was not bad. It was pretty fun. It's just I'm not a fan of games with kill cameras because I feel it's just kind of cheating. It's like, all right, well, I know where the guy got me from, and I'm just not a fan of that idea. So I kind of wish they would do away with that, as the developers have stated that they kind of wanted to make this a little bit more realistic, but there's a kill camera, so I don't really see how that helps. But yeah, look at, I mean, we've got indoor, outdoor environments. I don't think, can I climb? I don't think there's a climb button. I just jump like on top of the box, but I get onto this. There's no leaning, but there is kneeling. I don't think there's a prone position from what I can tell, but I haven't really looked over all the controls just yet. Just kind of looking at some of the scenery here. The game does have a nice assortment of like classes and duties and things like that that you could perform, special ops, medics, snipers, things like that. And with the ability to customize your talent tree, basically it further increases that variation. So there's definitely a lot to do in terms of customizing your character visually and statistically, I guess. I'll show you guys my RPG in action too. I loaded? Okay, load up. So, I've taken out a couple of people with this thing so far. It's been pretty fun. Definitely don't want to be on the other end of it. It's weird there's no recoil to my pistol when I shoot. Hopefully they'll tweak out some of the animations a little later, get them a little bit more accurate. Lots of places to hide though. If you're obviously like, look at this, man. This is a camper dream up here. I could honestly like see this being like, I was having some fun earlier in a couple of games, but I could see this being a blast with 64 players. More people just makes anything fun. I mean, I remember playing Battlefield 2 with 64 players, and even any of the original Battlefield games with 64 people. It was just chaos and just a lot of fun, especially if you have a good team or if you have a good squad at least to play around with. This map I think would be a lot of fun. It's so detailed. There's just like stuff, debris, little attentions to detail everywhere. Just a lot going on. I mean, it's a huge... I mean, look at it. I still haven't even really... I mean, gotten all the way to the other enemy encampment or base. Maybe I was on that. Okay, I went around, but yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it actually for this video. I just kind of wanted to show you around it, at least so you can see the game in motion, to see what it looks like, to get a feel of that. At least next videos, keep in mind we got some directors doing some other videos for this. Hopefully we'll actually get you some actual combat pretty soon. Oh, I think somebody actually just joined too. Figures, as I'm getting ready to run out of time on this video. But hopefully I'll keep recording and have it in a part 2. Stay tuned. Peace out, guys.